mechanics.
You see like a few. You see this kind of pattern emerging. Where they kind of go like safe and then weird and then safe and then weird. Like they did Final Fantasy 1 and that was already kind of weird to them, but it ended up being safe because it was so fucking successful.
Okay.
And then they got weird with 2, right? Like,
sure.
2, you say that, the licensing system wouldn't exist without 8, but 8 wouldn't exist without 2.
Sure. No, sure.
Oh shit, we are dying. Oh no, we are dying really hard here. Oh,
From a Sith apprentice? Come on.
Sorry, I got
Brian,
distracted
get
by
your
Final
shit together.
Fantasy. How about a life support pack? There's Zelbar. Oh jeez. Oh no, this is bad. I'm dead. I'm dead, dude. I'm dead. I'm dead hardcore.
Yep. Oh, was Zelbar getting force choked? Is that what he was having? Oh, sorry. My bad.
It's okay.
My bad, everybody.
Actually, pretty close there. And
I have strong feelings about Final Fantasy, and so does Juan.
But anyway, 2 was weird, and it was part of this like weird thing they did back in the day. I mean, you could probably see examples of this, but it's like very starkly clear where it's like make a smash hit and then make something completely different, and then that doesn't work, and then make the old one again. Sure. Like they made
Zelda, Mario.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking Zelda 2 is nothing like The Legend of Zelda, but A Link to the Past is pretty much like The Legend of Zelda, but with sweet graphics and expanded gameplay options. Sure. And Final Fantasy 3 is a lot like Final Fantasy 1 in both narrative and like general kind of gameplay thing. Whereas 2 was kind of like, this shit is so broken, like the only way to beat it is by exploiting it. And then the game designers just went with that. They were like, yeah, when we release this game, we're going to emphasize on how to break it. We're not going to try to fix the broken system. So, like...
But wouldn't you say... yes, for the first 3 games, I totally agree with you. That pattern is there. But I'm not sure it continues through. Like, would
it's
you
not
say
super
Final Fantasy
precise.
4 was experimental at all?
More experimental than 3, I think.
Okay.
I mean, like, I don't know. I
haven't really played
like
3 at all. I think I only know it through comparison to 1.
7, right? It's kind of like, it's kind of like a Jurassic Park thing, where it's like, it was definitely a fossil of its time, but then that fossil was so good they just made another. And like they keep wanting to come back to 7, They're like, this thing worked so well, like we really want to get what we got right here right. Sure. And that's totally fine. I don't think
I would
it's
also
a
say that
negative
9 is more experimental than 10.
Yeah, that's true. So like, I know the gap kind of expanded to like, 2 games, I guess, but 10
and that's why, like, it's fun for us, and to a greater extent me, to shit on Ryan and his love for Final Fantasy 9. Final Fantasy 9 is not a bad game, and it is actually more functional than Final Fantasy 8, but its plot is less cohesive, its character designs are interesting but don't really speak to each other as well as clearly as Final Fantasy 8 does. Like, some of the characters in 9 are better designed, better written than some of the characters in Final Fantasy 8, but there's no Squall and Renoa in 9. Yeah. There's nothing like really grounded and human for you to really invest in like that. Yeah. And then also 9 just came at the wrong point in the series and got totally overshadowed. It had super experimental, but it's still very compelling 8 right before it. And then it had new, way better graphics and also voice acting in Final Fantasy X, right?
It's that weird middle child there.
Which, I apparently Final Fantasy X gets shit on for graphics now, which I'm not sure I agree with. Like, it's an old game. It's like 16 years old now.
Design
but
ain't
the
bad,
graphics
though.
are terrible in it. And at the time, they fucking blew my mind. I think Final Fantasy X was the first like graphics-heavy game I saw on the PS2. And I had the same reaction to it that I had playing FF8 for the first time after Final Fantasy VII being my primary experience with gaming and graphics, and Final Fantasy VIII's extraordinary intro scene blew my mind, and then I had the exact same thing with Final Fantasy X. That fucking heavy metal blitzball game with Sin attack. That shit is amazing. I think everyone lost their shit seeing that the first time. But to get back to what I was saying initially is that, like, with Final Fantasy VIII... the rest of the game followed up on that promise.
Yeah, right?
That's a Superman Returns teaser to movie, is the Final Fantasy X intro.
You're just like,
the rest of the game.
And it's like, But with 8 and the problem of like it takes fucking forever to draw magic and shit. You know, back in the NES days, you couldn't afford to make like a game that was narratively 100 hours long, so you just made it hard as shit, so that it takes 100 hours for you to beat it because you just have to get good. And some people see that as a virtue, some people see that as a fault of that sort of era. Yeah, like the...
Count me in. If you're taking notes, if anyone's taking notes...
I know that's where you lie. Like, I think if... I don't know if you ever played Castlevania, any of the Castlevania series, but I think you would enjoy the Symphony of the Night Onward one, because it's more about, like, the aesthetic, and you're just, like, a super rad...
Hello. Oh, shit. Lightsabers in your face.
Slayer. Yep, this is already going poorly. But... the first few Castlevanias are, like, they're really hard and really well designed. So, like, there are things that you can say, like, oh, this is a bullshit mechanic, but the rules are established and don't break. So, like, all the challenges are built around that bullshit, you know? Like, it's self-consistent bullshit. It's internally consistent bullshit. And so, like, I wonder if for the Final Fantasy VIII drawing problem, if it's, like, something that they realized and were like, nah, it'll just make the game longer and we could put that on the box. Or if, like, you know, they just didn't realize that people are going to need to draw a lot of magic.
I mean, especially big studio games, they get play tested. There's no way they did it. Yeah, that's definitely true. I'm not sure the reason they left it in was something so cynical as...
They just want to make the hours longer.
The length of the game. It might have been. I kind of hope not. And like Final Fantasy VIII, just on story alone, even if you go into it with like some Game Shark code that gives you 99 of every magic all the time, always, the game still takes a really fucking long time.
Yeah, I mean,
even without grinding.
Spoiler alert: you have like a 4-stage final boss fight here.
It does. The game does not really need padding.
Yeah.
And the 4-stage final boss is just Ultimechia.
Yeah.
You have to fight, like, all of these summon gods. Like, God. The altar, the mirror universe evil versions of all of your most powerful guardian forces.
Yeah.
You gotta fight all of them to get, like, through the castle just to get to... It's a whole fucking thing. Point being, I don't really think they were looking to pad the game's length. If anything, I think they were more like... I feel like there was probably some Cypher plotline that probably got cut because they were like, oh man, we wrote this really good Cypher plot, but we gotta cut something out of this game, man.
He just gets like mind control and then leaves.
But I think maybe the justification was something like, yes, this is a problem, but maybe it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Let's see what people do with it.
Yeah.
Is this the opposite end of the scale? So we're incentivizing. So we're giving people the choice of like, are you going to go in more prepared, or are you going to put in more time? And it was early enough in gaming as a culture that they didn't know the answer is always.
Yeah.
Fucking always. No, I'm going to sit here for 3 days until it's perfect.
Have the dominant strategy. Gosh, game theory. Ah, dicks. God, these guys just don't stop. Just fucking... I wanted to slice that computer terminal. They just keep coming. Oh my god. Okay, let's see. Valor. Give me some Valor. Oh no. Oh jeez. Oh no. I need force resistance too. God. All my buffs. I need all of them. Oh my... I guess this is the end of the game, so they're making it hard as shit. Yeah, but anyway, Final Fantasy... Oh, fuck me.
Just die again.
It's got a lightsaber thrown into me, so, you know.
That'll do it.
That's the one.
That does that.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Zalbar, it's all... Oh boy, Jolie, why don't you help out, buddy? Why don't you do something with your life? Don't be a failure.
We do better against droids, don't we?
Yeah, we probably do. Oh, man. Jolie is... Oh, God. No, this is a real fuckfest right here. Oh, man. Oh, man. Okay. I wonder if maybe I have equipment that I'm just not using. How about you guys focus fire also? You assholes. Goddamn low-level AI assholes. Okay, what can you do? Okay, you can just keep healing, I guess, because there's really nothing else to do. Oh, no.
Man, just all of them, are, except for that guy, are on Jolie right now, right?
Yeah.
Am I reading the screen correctly?
Yep. They save shit.
Oh, and they're healing themselves also.
With me? Alright, well, we'll be back. I'll